Hey everybody, it's Kimberly. We are looking at the miracle of Jesus walking on water, and that comes right after the miracle of feeding the 5,000. And there's a lot of good stuff in here. So we're going to take a look at how those miracles piggybacked, what the disciples saw, and how they reacted to it. And then think through how we might react through situations like that. So it's interesting that after this big miracle, he knew immediately to go to his Father. And I've noticed a pattern in my life and in other people's lives that when something really big happens or something really good happens, it's always the time for Satan to come in and try to make a mess of things. And usually he doesn't come in and make a mess by doing things that look unfortunate. Like if we're riding high, often Satan will puff us up with pride, or he will make us fearful that we'll never have anything that amazing again, or it just, you guys know, well, maybe you don't. I hope I'm not the only one here who is quite human and has these experiences where I have to wrestle to really remember my identity in Christ. Just when I think I've got it down, it's another time for a good humbling. So, oh goodness. So there you have it, right? So I'm just using the paint that came in this month's kit. It's so beautiful. Like I want it like on every page, Pacific blue, and it's got these like beautiful, like shimmery, I don't even know if I can get it in the light right here. It's just so pretty. Anyway, just using some of that. And then she asked a really good question in the Devo. She asked, have I ever gotten ahead of Jesus? Yeah. Who is Jesus to me, and how does this help me not fear? Because what happens is when the disciples are out there and they're on their own and things start looking a little scary because of the storm and all that, Jesus has to come in and say, hey guys, remember, it's me. It's me. We're good. We're okay. So if we know who Jesus is, even when the storms hit in life, how does that impact us? How does that change the story? Because it really should change the story, right? Jesus' impact on our life should change the story. But we're human, and I think we get in our humanness, and life gets scary, or finances get short, or if you have a month like ours where 2 refrigerators died on the same day, 4 new tires on a car needed, 2 kids starting college and paying tuition, and it's our anniversary and we're trying to go on vacation. So that could be really overwhelming, and finances are something that used to really overwhelm us. And I've been trying to change my mindset with that. We've been working on a Dave Ramsey plan for a long time, which is, he's a Christian financial teacher who teaches you to stay out of debt. And so we're good about not getting into debt. But when you have all this stuff happen at once, tires blown out, 2 refrigerators dying, like you've got to deal with tires and refrigerators. And so it can get very overwhelming. It can feel really overwhelming. But the truth is, God's not surprised by any of this. And the truth is, Jesus is here to rescue me. He's here to say, hey, Kimberly, I'm right here. I'm right here. So the trick isn't just closing my eyes and hoping that this will get better. The trick is closing my eyes and focusing on who is really in control. But here's what's so cool about our Jesus. Peter and the men in the boat, the disciples get really freaked out because they're like, somebody's walking on the water out to me. It's a ghost. And they were terrified. But Jesus was like, hey, don't be afraid. It's me. You guys know who I am. So if we're sitting down face to face with Jesus and we're facing something overwhelming, and Jesus is looking at us going, you know me, Kimberly, they're just refrigerators and tires and cars and tuition. I know that looks like a lot to you, just like it looked like pretty crazy for me to be walking on water. Yeah, the disciples thought that was pretty wild. He goes, and I know you think all these things that are happening are pretty wild. He goes, and I get it, I do. I'm not admonishing you for feeling overwhelmed or discouraged or frustrated or trying to figure out what in the world you need to do next. He goes, but all I'm really needing you to do is remember who I am. I just need you to remember who I am. So I'm stamping down here. Now that I've got this all inked up in black, I kind of wish I had done it in a different color. Oh well, we'll go with black. We're just gonna stick with black. I'm stamping down here these 2 stamps from the Seaside collection that I got to create. Oh, it's still so fun to be able to play with your own art like this. Then I'm gonna show you guys, I don't know if I've shown you yet, I found a fun thing to do with this anchor and gelatos. So I'm gonna, well, I already have a silver one in my Bible, so we're gonna do this kind of gold color. So you're gonna get your stamp a little bit wet so that the gelato pigment starts to kind of melt into it, dissolve, I guess is a better word. And you just wanna put a thick layer of gelato. And what I like about this is it's just a metallic one. I've got my Neo Color crayons here too. They're really one of my favorites as far as like consistency and stuff. But these metallic gelatos are fabulous. They're so beautiful. And we have a woman in our community who has told me twice now, bless her heart, she sent me a list of less expensive items, and I keep wanting to create a resource page, and I think I'm just being kind of perfectionistic about it because I go, oh, I need to get my website fixed, and then I can make a resource page for you guys, and then I can get those resources out so that you guys can know what they are, because I'm not quite sure where to put that list. She had a huge list that's just amazing, and ideally it would be on my website that I need to redo. So I will work on figuring a plan out for that list, and just seeing if there's just trying to figure out a good way to post that list of resources, because she said that she's tried a number of art supplies that are not kind of the main brands, like this. I think I'm getting too much on here now, because now it's just wiping itself off. So anyway, put lots of gelato on here. Yeah, I'm wiping it off now with itself. That's funny. Anyway, she's tried lots of other brands of art supplies that cost less, but they're similar, like some other water-soluble crayons and things like that. And I'm not ignoring her. I just haven't been able to figure out where to put all the information she gave me. So anyway, hunt around on Amazon, and you can find supplies that aren't as expensive as kind of the main go-to staples that you hear a lot about in the Bible journaling community. So I'm just going to stamp this down. I may need to do another layer. We'll see how much is there. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can. And then if you're like me, your stamp is a gooey mess now, because you got gelato stuck to it everywhere. But that's okay. It'll clean right off with soap and water, and it will also clean right off with a baby wipe. So super easy. So I'm trying to get it nice and chunky, because then what we do is we take a heat tool to dry it, and with this metallic, it just looks really cool with the anchor. So let me show you. Hopefully it'll do it again. You know how you use art supplies once, you find a cool trick, you try to do it again, especially like on camera, and it won't work. Okay, so I'm gonna dry it, and it should make it look really shiny and pretty. Yeah. It's probably hard to see the shimmer on camera, but it's super pretty. The gold, and then these edges get a little bit raised, and so it just gives it kind of this cool 3D effect. So I like that. So we need to write the word in. We need to write the word in here. Trying to decide. Let's just use the big black pen. The big black pen. Let's change up the font. We'll just keep it super simple. So I just want it to say anchored in Jesus, because here we can fancy it up with some little serif tails here. There, that's fancy. There's a font for you guys. Because if we're anchored in Jesus, then we are we're going to stand a much better chance at not having to be afraid, and not kind of going through life begging for God's mercy, but instead just walking in our I don't know the right word, daughterness. Oh, forgive me, bad grammar, but like, we're daughters of the King, if we focus too much on worry, it steals our joy, it steals our energy. It's a big old waste of time. It's very easy to worry, and I was doing that today, and God just said, just hang out with me, worship me instead, refocus your thoughts on me and who I am, be anchored in me, and your day will go very differently. And it sure did, you guys. So anchor yourself in Christ, remember who he is. Don't be afraid if he comes at you from a different direction, like walking on water, because at times, if your walk with Jesus is anything like mine, sometimes he shows up, or he asks you to do strange things, like walk on water or feed 5,000 people. I haven't had to do either of those, but he does ask me to do some strange things, or things that seem impossible, or I know it could only be him because I would have never come up with that idea, you know, that kind of stuff. And as long as I'm anchored in him, I'm okay. I'm doing okay. Well, more than okay usually. If I'm really anchored in him, I'm more than okay. So that's our Jesus, you guys. And he doesn't want us to stay anchored in him just because it's the right thing to do. He wants to be able to give us the gift of the peace that comes in his presence. He wants us to hang out with him because he loves us. He wants us to be in his presence because he knows that he's got great things in store for us. Okay, now see, I messed up, so now we're gonna this is the trick. Make your mess bigger when you color outside the lines, and then it looks like an on-purpose mess. Haha, how's that? Now we have an on-purpose mess. Here, and we'll bring some of the color up here to the word in. Well, now I want more color everywhere. Oh, so let's highlight over here. Take heart, it is I, do not be afraid. So next time you're feeling worried or afraid, just pause and remind yourself who Jesus is and all the miracles that he can do, and that he can do things you can't even dream of yet, and just let it all go and let him take over. All right, you guys? Well, this was a fun little chat, and the walk I went through in my own spiritual life today. So I am walking the walk with you guys, living it out together here, and I'm just grateful you're here. So thanks, you guys, and I will see you again soon. Bye.